Grüezi miteinander, Gregory from Lebe here. Welcome to another episode of the Kettlebell Cop, where I review kettlebell workouts on YouTube. The goal of the series is to serve beginners an educational experience and help them learn discernment pertaining to kettlebell training. Disclaimer, please don't mistake this video as an attack against the coach. Also, please don't think that you, as a kettlebell beginner, have to display perfect form. A good lift is enough. Unless you want to move heavy weights, excel at mastering pure form just for the sake of it, or become an athlete, you don't have to practice until you get it perfectly right. Practice until you can't get it wrong. With that being said, I always raise my standards when watching a coach's technique. The workout I am reviewing is a 20-minute kettlebell workout for beginners by Self. Now, the warm-up is done properly, and these exercises will get your heart rate up and prep your muscles, which I really like. However, I would have loved to see some extent of mobility work. The deadlift is a great selection for beginners. The hip and the back, they look great. However, what I'm missing is the alignment of the weight. You see, the kettlebell should always track your legs alongside the middle of your feet. If you don't do this, you create additional leverage that your lower back has to compensate for. And I also don't like the shoes they are wearing. Either go with flat shoes like Converse or the old Nike Metcons, or go barefoot. Now here's how we do the deadlift. The kettlebell is between your legs and along the middle of your feet. You push your hips back, your upper body leans forward, and you make sure that your back is straight. Now you lift the bell up with a short exhale on top, and then you drop it back down. The next exercise is a power clean, which I really like. I think it is a great exercise for beginners. However, in the video, it's called the deadlift and clean, and this is not the proper term if we play the semantics game of technical descriptions for exercises. In a barbell snatch, you also start in a deep squat stance. And we don't call it the squat snatch now, for that matter. The form is nice, but there's still the same problem that they had in the deadlift. The kettlebell's too far away from the center line, from the center of mass. And that's a perfect example for you to see that sometimes these problems that we have, they seep into other exercises as well. Now here's how we do the power clean. The kettlebell rests between your feet alongside the middle of your foot, the same as in the deadlift. You grab the kettlebell from the floor on the top of the handle, tense your body. Now you pull the weight up and you switch the grip from the top of the handle to the horns. With a short exhale on top, you drop the kettlebell back down. The goblet squat is a beast and maybe not the perfect exercise for beginners. You know, we have beginners do body weight squats, since a goblet squat can be difficult if you're just starting out. Doesn't take away from the benefits that it can provide. And here's how we do the goblet squat. You bring the kettlebell into the goblet position, and we like grabbing the kettlebell by the bell with open hands to avoid arm fatigue. Now brace your abs, push your legs out, track your feet, and squat down. Now you press your elbows into your inner thighs, and since this is a front squat with weight in front of you, we have to keep the back straight and chest up. Now you come back up with a short exhale, and be aware that a goblet squat might look different for people with different hip structures. It may also be that this exercise is not the perfect selection for you for the reasons I just mentioned. And in that case, maybe a body weight squat suits you better. You want to push your hips back, your upper body leans forward. Now bend your hips as well as your knees and bring your hip down to knee level. Now keep the hips backwards and extend your arms in front of you and keep the forward lean position. Your knees have to stay vertical and there's no ankle movement. Now you come back out of the squat and you exhale on top. Now you see the big difference between the two exercises. With the goblet squat, the hips are close to the legs, the upper body straight, chest is up. With the back squat, the hip is away from the legs and the upper body leans forward. The swing is one of the critical hallmark exercises of kettlebell training, and this is where the potential of the kettlebell shines the most. Now what I love, Self coaches know the triangle, so they're off to a great start. Now here you see a difference. You must start with the weight in front of you to create momentum. We call this a triangle. The kettlebell forms the top and your feet from the bottom of the triangle. But don't copy this movement pattern into the deadlift though. You don't have to look down all the time. If you swing for longer sets of time, this may create a dizzy feeling. If the weight is too light, you also don't get proper feedback. And if you use a 12 or an 8 kg, I would use the hand-to-hand swing. Really try to maximize the arm-body connection. We call it the ABC. Maximize the time the arm is connected to your body and minimize the time the arm is disconnected from your body. Now, here's how we do the hand-to-hand swing. As I mentioned, we start in that triangle. You pull the kettlebell into the back swing and connect your arm with your body. Now you use the power of your hips to push the kettlebell to chest level and think about swinging the kettlebell upward instead of forward. There's a short exhale on top. Now you switch hands and let gravity do its thing. When the kettlebell drops, use your hips to absorb the kettlebell into the backswing and start again. The last exercise is also the one I don't really like for 3 reasons. First, the American swing creates an arm-dominant behavior. We need a relaxed arm in order to let our hips do the job and do most of the work. Second, some therapists agree that the position at the top, when the arms are overhead and the hands are held together, this can cause or may cause a problematic situation for your shoulder. And number 3, if you use heavier weights, the balancing overhead at the top with the handle below and the bell above creates a dangerous situation in that part of the lift, which can cause serious injury. So what will be better? The snatch. This is the proper way to deliver the kettlebell overhead from a swing. Arms are open, so no problem with the shoulder, and the proper grip where the kettlebell rests on your forearm or your wrist, we call this the hook grip, is a safe and strong position. However, the snatch is not suited for beginners, so leave the American swing away and just do the normal swing instead. But if you're interested in how the snatch works, let's check it out. We use an almost identical movement pattern as in the swing. You start in the triangle, you pull the kettlebell into the backswing, push your hips forward and pull the kettlebell upward into the top fixation, leaning back to use your upper body as a lever. Now you pack your shoulder once the kettlebell lands on top. Now if you want to drop the kettlebell, you turn your palm towards you, lean back a little bit to initiate the drop, unlock your elbow, and now the kettlebell wants to drop and you let gravity do its thing. Wait until you reconnect your arm to your body and finish in the backswing. While I think a cool down can be helpful, I don't think you have to do it for 5 minutes. Do a few stretches to focus on these areas that need some additional work if you know you're not as mobile and you want to increase or work on that mobility a little bit, but that's it. Final verdict, this kettlebell beginner routine from Self is a 6 out of 10 for me. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like it and consider subscribing, and don't forget to hit the bell button so you'll be notified every time we upload a new video. If you're looking for kettlebell courses that can help you lose weight, build muscle, and improve your kettlebell technique, then check out the Lebe Academy. Let us help you discover a new perspective on kettlebell training, making it simple and easy for you to understand. Join the waiting list of your desired course now and secure your spot when it's open for enrollment. Link is in the description.